Welcome to the B25 Mitchell. Now there's a good reason why you should visit your model shop more regularly. If you go to your model shop, they will on occasion have models that people have given up halfway through, people have retired, people have passed away and gone to radio control heaven. And they'll have kits that the family don't want, not interested in, or they're just giving up on it, and you know they haven't got the time or the skill anymore. The eyesight's gone, a bit like me. My eyesight's really going bad, and they've given up on stuff. Well, guess what I found? And you're never going to guess how much I paid for it either. Let's see if I can turn this round. See? Turn that over there like that. Okay. B25 Mitchell, 15-inch wingspan. It's got the motors with it. It's got the tail with it, which is broken, and it's got the cowling, and it's got all the plastic pieces. Okay, and you know, I can see that there's a lot of work to be done, but the majority of it is done. Now, if you want to buy this comes as a plan. I think the plan's like £20 or something like this, and you can buy a short kit for this. It gives the majority of what you need. Well up to £300, right? It's got servos already in it, the motors are already in it, and these are usually about 20-30 quid each. It's got the props. All I've got to do is finish it, right? So I'm getting about a £400 model for 50 quid. 50 quid, right? Now, I've got the plans. The plans are with it. So you need to go down your model shop more regularly if you can and get friendly with them, because they have stuff like this lying around, and if they haven't got it on display they'll say, oh, we've got this coming, you interested? And they'll show it to you. You'll be the first one to see it. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and finish this model. Okay, it's quite obvious that the tail is broken off, the main spar that goes through the middle of it. This guy's probably broken it. Ah, sod it, you know, sod it. Taken up room, and he's used lots of filler here, there and everywhere. And to be honest, there's going to be parts of this that are going to test me, but it's not that far away from being finished. So I thought I'd do something that Cliff does and pick up a model and finish it or rebuild it and see if we make it fly. Now, this has no undercarriage. It's not built to have an undercarriage. I don't know why it's designed to be a belly lander. It just seems ridiculous to me. You're just going to break your props. So what I am going to do is I'm not going to put retracts in. No way I'm not putting retracts in. It's too much work. But I will put static undercarriage in it. Hopefully, if I can, make the front wheel movable so I can direct it on the ground. I'm going to try and get the canopies off. He's partly used tape to put the panel lines in, and partly very badly painted the canopies. I may be able to drop that into some caustic soda and lift the paint off, hopefully, and then what I can do is remask it up ready for painting when I come to it, which will probably be my first move if I'm being honest. And then I will turn it upside down, have a look at the wiring. Now I can see already that one of the pins has come away from the plug, so I may change that plug completely and resolder that in. And it looks like he's got two 18 amp speed controllers, and this is splitting the voltage. because I've had a very brief look at it, not an in-depth look at it. And I'll get this wired up and see if any of this works, and if it doesn't, investigate why. I may have to cut out some panels here to get the undercarriage in. This is glued on. What motors are they? That's what now he's partly coated this with some grey primer. It looks like a 2826. Let's have a look. 1200 kV, I think it is. It should be about right. It's not going to be the fastest flyer in the world if I can get it to work, but I'm going to try and keep the weight down as much as I can. See, I've got to make a hatch here. The hatch is there, but the hatch is missing, if you see what I mean. Let's see what I can do with it. So, welcome to the next project. Let's see how it goes. Well, I managed to get the canopies off. Yeah, he didn't use what looks like wood glue to put them on. I think he's used some sort of shoe glue, some rubber based thing. Had I realised, I could have made it a bit easier on myself, because although I was using a sharp knife and everything else, I just thought, well, I'll loosen it, try some super glue debonder. Not so much on these, but when I came to the top turret, because you can't get it underneath, and it started fogging up, and you can see it's this elastic sort of shoe glue. I suddenly realised, what am I doing this for? Why don't I use my alcohol? Silly idiot. So I use my alcohol to debond the glue, and just pour it in, let it go all the way around the rim, and sure enough, it came off without having to use the knife. He has put a hell of a cut. Nobody can see that. Can you see that cut there? He's put a hell of a cut in there. Yeah. So the other thing is, he's not cut that level. Can you see that? It's not. It's about as level as, well, something that's not level. Had you watched one of my videos, you would have known to use glass paper to cut this out, and therefore it would have been level. There is a possibility. I'm going to see if I can soak this. I'll soak them first in soapy water, and then if I can find my caustic soda, put them in caustic soda. But it has sort of fogged up the glass, or the perspex there. There is a way of getting that out. It's very time consuming. You can polish it. You can get some very, very fine polish, maybe tea-cut, something even finer than tea-cut, and if you just keep polishing it and polishing it and polishing it, it takes a great deal of time to do, but you can actually get that, you know, back to how it should be. There's the front nose cone. You can see there's glue on the plastic. There's the cockpit canopy. Yeah, he's put a lot of black paint on there. I have no idea. I think he's tried, to freehand it. It's not good. It's not good. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to try and find the caustic soda wherever that is. But the first thing I'll do is I'll put that in soapy water. What you must never do with plastic is use any abrasive at all. You know, like scratching like that with your thumb can put a permanent mark in that. You have to lift it off by degrading the paint, and caustic soda is pretty good for that. It almost looks as though he's got some sort of tape under there, but why he's painted it black I'm not quite sure. He's certainly put it on the outside, not the inside. Yeah. Oh, a bit of Tamiya tape there, look. It's the Tamiya tape. So he looks like he's had a go with Tamiya tape, but not very successfully by the looks of it. Let's see if we can pull that off. Yeah. There's your Tamiya tape. So, anyway, just so you quickly have a look. It's two different colours there. He's using duck egg blue, which even on a British cockpit is not correct. It should be like a duck egg green, slightly darker colour, and he's put like a green, darker green there on the top turret. So I'm going to have to clean all this up, let it all dry out, clean it all up. And there's the front. So I don't know whether you can see this. I just thought I might show you while I'm at it. You know, there's a lot of filler gone in there that's not been levelled off. It's quite horrendous. Yeah, I got my work cut out. Oh well, on to the next bit. Well, here's the top turret. As you can see, it's got some glue on it, some marks and everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try using T-cut. For those who don't know what T-cut is, it's a polish that you use on car paint. If you had a scratch or something like that, we say you T-cut it out. So I'm going to use a little bit of T-cut. This may take some time, and I'm going to see how it turns out. Some of it's on the inside, some of it's on the outside, but I know that if you keep at it long enough, it should bring the canopy up. There is a polish especially for this, but I can't remember what it's called, so I'm just going to try T-cut and see how that pans out. Let's do this little bit here, see if that makes any difference, but a bit early yet. But yeah, it's going to take a long time to get this cleared up, but as you can see, it's not being cut level. That's pretty amateur. Anyway, let's carry on. Well, they've turned out quite well after being soaked in caustic soda, and used glass paper to take the edges off here. The chap hadn't done it on the inside or the outside. Found some cracks in the perspex as well. Never mind, just have to live with it. But they'll be ready soon for remasking. There's the rear canopy that had not had any glass paper put over it. It was just really rough edges. If you recall what this looked like, it looks almost brand new. But again, I had to go over every single edge with glass paper to get all the edges off. Yeah, what can you say? And there's the top turrets. That's come out okay. So these were the ply inserts for the canopy and the nose canopy. So before I glue those back in, actually I'll put these to one side. We're not finished with them by a long chalk yet. And there's the guns. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm going to look at sanding the model, I thought what I'd do is save myself a lot of grief and just quickly spray these green. There you go, before they go back in. We're doing both sides, just run out, we'll use a little second we can really. I've got another can of this. Let them go off, so when I glue them back it's going to look right. Just thinking ahead there. But like I said, I got another can of that. It's not a big deal, just using up whatever's left. And so once that's done, it's to the fuselage. Very probably check out the wiring and then start sanding. There's a lot to sand down there, so let that go off while I'm doing that. Right, I had to do some soldering to put a battery connector on this type here, which actually I can't remember what they're called. I think it's written on the side. EC3. Yeah, there's another name for it. I can't remember what it is. It'll come to me. So I wanted to check out. I had to put some rods on the ailerons there. I found out one of the screws is missing. That's because the wood's missing, so I've got to put that in. But I thought, well, I'll check out the electrics and just to see if everything's working as it should be. So I bound it. My radio's on right now. There's no props on, so we're perfectly safe. Just screw that up a bit. There you go. Don't spin off and lose them. Right, so as it happens, everything does seem to be working correctly. I'll just take this out of the way because it's not convenient. So it's my magnetic thing here for all my tools, just getting in the way. Okay, because my workshop isn't really big enough. So ailerons working just fine. As I said, I've got to put a piece of wood in one of the mounts there for the cover, so I can put the one screw in. Why he's left it out, I don't know, but you know, there you go. It's all part of the fun. So they're all working. They're actually moving in the correct way. Obviously there's no tail on yet, but the up and the down does show that the rods are moving and in the correct direction. There's no rudder on this. It's a 3-channel. Okay, and now the motors. And this is moving clockwise and this is moving anti-clockwise, so we're all good. We're all good. It's a shame we got nothing for the rudder. I did consider putting a rudder in, but I'd have to take everything half apart to do it. So I think the next thing now is to put the tail on, and I think what I'll have to do, looking at the tail, let's have a look. Now the horns are already on there. Not exactly used the correct screws for that, but never mind. So that's all done there. But looking at the drawing, your main spar for your horizontal stabilizers there, it looks very weak as well, and he's obviously broken it. It's obviously been glued on before. He's probably knocked the tail off and just gone, you know what, I'll give up. So you can see on this one the main spar there. Seems a bit of a weak spot to me. He's also tried to cover it there. I'll take that off because I'm thinking about making this green, so this is going to be conducive anyway. Not quite sure how he's glued that on, but seems all right. So what's the cure? The cure is, I'll have to look a little bit deeper into this, is that I may cut a slot, maybe 2 slots, one here, maybe one here, put carbon fiber rod in all the way through, and that should make it pretty strong. Once that's on, I'll then start thinking about sanding it all down. This needs really deep sanding. This filler all over the place. So it's all going to be rubbed down and then refilled. And then I'll think about the covering. I might do something very different actually. I might cover it in paper. Because my feeling is that I want to just spray the top green, underneath the light grey. I might put some panel lines in it, I don't know. And then it's almost ready to go. I'm still questioning whether to put an undercarriage on or not. To put the undercarriage on, I'll have to cut out the nacelles and then put some strengtheners in, and it's like, how far down the rabbit hole do I want to go? But anyway, so the electrics are working, so it's just a tail now. And I'll have a look at that right now. Okie doke, here we go. Hello chaps. Well, it's been quite a while since I've done the last video. You won't know that because to you it's just instantaneous. But what I have been doing is I've been filling in all the gaps where the wood's missing. This is just over there, by the way, this little hatch. So I've finished off filling in where the wood's missing and done a lot of filling in and so forth, taking the ailerons off. So now this is now ready for the sanding sealer. Now I have made two decisions since my last video, and that is I'm not going to put the undercarriage in. The reason being is that when it comes to the front wheel, this area here, because it's already made, and this is where the battery goes, which is going to aid in the centre of gravity, I'd have to take almost the whole thing apart to do it. Had I been building this from scratch, I'd have done it. I'd have put the undercarriages on, no issues, just would have done it. But I'm going to go as is, so it's going to be a belly lander. The second thing is I've decided is that I'm going to cover this in tissue paper and then spray it and see how it turns out. So what I'm going to do now is I've got this sanding sealer. There you go. It's Guild's Materials Coating Extras Sanding Sealer, and I'll be putting that on. I'll be thinning it down a little bit with some cellulose, their own brand, cellulose thinner. And I do have, when I come to do the tissuing, I have Guild's Materials Coating Extras. Now, if you're going to do something similar, then follow this: clear, non-shrinking dope. Clear, non-shrinking dope, because it's a solid wing, it's a solid fuzz. Okay, we don't need to stretch it, it just needs to go on and make a film so we can paint on it. So that's where we are now. So I've got myself two old brushes from the pound shop. You don't want really expensive ones, but you don't want them too cheap because all the hairs will come out the brush and you'll be picking it out forever and a day. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a coat of that on and then sand it down and see how it looks. And that's where we're at right now. Well, this is the end of part one of the rebuild of the B25. I do hope you'll join me on the second part, the second and final part. There will be a maiden flight video when the weather's okay. The weather's been absolutely pants. And when the weather's been good, I've been working. So you can't win. You can't win. I'm hoping next year is going to be a lot better. So watch out for the second video. Should be the week after this. At some point when the weather's good and this is ready to go, you'll see a maiden flight. So please like, please subscribe. And no, I'm not making any money out of it. Just like, subscribe, just share the love. All right. Thanks a lot. See you in the next one. Cheerio.